computer. Awesome. Okay, so let's get started here. We're going to do some awesome, incredible training, and that training is going to be about how to handle objections. And I just shared about how powerful our voice is in the world and how we can make a decision to be a voice of change, a voice of making a difference, or a voice of perpetrating the problem, exacerbating the problem, multiplying the problem, or actually finding solutions. We can have joy and peace, all depending upon the words of our mouth. So let's take a look at handling objections, because this seems to be a little bit of a challenge for a lot of us. Number one, if you are sensitive, a no can actually strike you as, let's say, a personal note against you. But people are not destinations, they are doors. So in other words, when someone tells you no, they're just simply saying to you, not no to you personally, but this is not the right time for me, or I just need more information. Give me time, walk with me through the journey, and give me space and give me time to process this information. So handling the objections as open doors and not slamming doors. When I shared this at the Brassfield training, I got several texts back saying, man, this really opened up my eyes. And so I'm hoping this will also be a revelation knowledge that, just because somebody tells you no, puts you off, or doesn't even answer phone calls or doesn't respond to texts anymore, doesn't mean that you need to take it personally. They're not saying no to you personally. So people look at them as not a final destination, but as open doors. Position your heart to say, this person is their no is not a no to me. It's an open door to ask them, who do you know? And I'll give you an example of that. Is just recently I purchased a different vehicle, and from the dealership that I purchased the vehicle, I shared several of the Elevate and sent text and videos to several people. And one of the managers there, I was following up with him, and I was actually in his office, and he looked straight at me and said, oh yeah, I looked at the videos. Oh yeah, I took drank the elevator, whatever. And he said, but I took it to my wife, and my wife said no. And so I sat there and I thought, okay, I'm going to absorb the no. No, I'm going to deflect the no. Hallelujah. And I'm going to come back with, who do you know? So I'm going to deflect the NO, and I'm going to come back with, who do you know? So I looked straight at him, and I knew he was determined. So I said, who do you know that is into health, that is not married? Now, I just wanted to make kind of a joke about it. And he answered me, and he goes, oh, there's a new guy that just joined the team, and he's really into health. His name is Dave. He's 2 doors down. Well, do you know that when I left that office, I went knocking on Dave's door? Do you know, I walked right in and I said, hey, Scotty down there, he recommended you and said you were a man of integrity. You are a man that's into health and wellness, and you're going to love this information I'm going to share with you. And then I proceeded. So in other words, I was able to deflect the NO by opening up to and saying, who do you, KNOW. So ask yourself, how can I best serve this person, and speak blessings over them no matter their response. So I did that. I just said, Scotty, thank you so much for trying out the samples and for taking a look at it. And I said, who do you know? And so I watched his body language. It was really, really important for me to watch his body language. I knew I wasn't going to talk him out of his NO. at that moment. I didn't want to be like a, a bullying him and opposing his wife, because he would have taken it as, oh my goodness, here's another female opposing my wife's decision. I've never met his wife. And I've not talked to his wife, and I didn't want to go there. And I just said, oh, thank you so much, Scotty, for taking a look at the video, taking the samples. Who do you know that is into health that would appreciate and value these amazing formulas that is not married? And I just threw that in kind of as a joke. So there's ways that and this skill, by the way, is learned. You have to exercise this skill, and this is probably the most the skill that you have to exercise in order to get better at. So great advice. Identify the real blockers. So in other words, you want to be able to really find out what that person's objection really truly is. I did a 3-way call with one of the team members this morning, and the lady was like, I gave her some information. The other lady had given her some information. It takes 7 to 14 exposure times in this world to actually have somebody come to a final decision to say yes. And so, but every time you reach out to them, every time you talk with them, every time you invite them, every time they come to a Zoom or an event or a meeting, or you send them a video, or you send them an email or a text or whatever, that's counted as an exposure. So identify the real blockers. And at the end of about a 30-minute call, she finally said, I really want to try these amazing formulas that you've shared with me. But the real issue is I get a check coming in at the end of the month, so I won't be able to do this until the end of the month. So we actually were able to get to the real objection, which was her revenue would not be there until the end of the month. So we settled that by saying, okay, when is a good time for us to follow up with you? In the meantime, I've sent her some more videos. I've sent her an email. So we're separating ourselves from the answers. So if they say, oh, I'm just not interested, they're not saying they're not interested in you. They're just saying, I've got too many things blocking my mind right now. And it doesn't matter how good you are, how beautiful you are, how much you smile, you're just not going to get through those barriers right then and there. So take yourself out of the equation. A no is simply, I don't know enough yet to be making an informed decision, or the timing isn't right. Ask the questions, don't give all the answers. It's real important to transfer the answers to another tool. That way that they can understand that we don't work solo, because you'll go so low if you work solo. So you need to be able to utilize the tools, because that person on the other end needs to know, man, they have got a resource database that is incredible. So ask the questions to get all the answers. What does it look like? And some of the ways that you can actually ask those questions are, what does that look like? Meaning, they might say, no, I'm just not interested right now. Or, I'm looking for a better health, but I'm not sure this is the route I need to take. Then to say, what does better health look like to you? Or how long have you had this pain? Or how long have you been, with a lack of energy or brain fog or not sleeping, insomnia? Just kind of say back to them some of their health challenges they've already shared with you. And ask them, well, what is your present plan to change that situation? So you're letting them talk. You're letting them know you're there to listen. You're not there to cram any sales pitch down their throat. You're honestly being authentic, and you're ready to listen to what they're having to share with you. And then many times they might just say, and I hear this a lot, well, they just need to know they're going to have support. So in my emails and my texts, I always say, you are connected to an amazing family of health experts, and we're here to help you on your health journey. I want that person to know that they're not alone. I want that person to know that they finally have arrived at a resource that can genuinely help them. Now, we're not going to call them every single day and ask them what they had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not the kind of, let's say, help we're going to give them. Now, obviously, if I do a consultation, I'm going to talk those things. And I'm going to send them emails about these are good foods, these are not good foods. But I don't have the time to spend on a daily basis holding their hand. There's other companies that do that and they come and go. But the help we're going to give them is the help and the resources of gaining knowledge, gaining information so that they can arrive to a truthful conclusion about the best path that they can take. They get on a rally and they see the big picture. They come to a live event and they see the big picture. And when they see that big picture, they are so excited that you can't even calm them down because it's ignited a fire within them because they think, oh my goodness, I didn't think a family like this existed. So you're asking them, what would it look like if you had support? What if you had the resources to help you in, gain more energy or get better sleep or any of the above, or have better digestion? Shift the focus from a shutdown to an open door. And obviously, this does take some skill to do. So you just need to practice it. And sometimes it's best to practice on your friends, practice on somebody that's not going to be hostile, and kind of let that verbiage just get to where it flows off of your tongue. And would it be okay for me to check back with you? Things change. And this is one line that I give everyone that says, I'm just not interested. Then I always say, would it be okay for me to check back with you in the future? Because things change and you never know, what might happen tomorrow. And I've never had anybody say no. They generally will say, yes, go ahead. You can check back with me in 3 months. So, here is a recipe for handling objections. And let me pull this down so you can actually see the entire slide. And the recipe is the recipe, but it's up to you to season the taste. Some days you might want to add a little sugar. Some days you might want to add a little chili powder. But be agreeable, understand them, listen to them, be gentle. And this is kind of your menu recipe. It's, I felt the same way. Let's say their objection is, I don't have the funds right now. I felt the same way. Listen to their heart. You're the pointer and the connector. Ask questions. So I felt the same way. I know how you feel, but I found out, I discovered that, and this is how we ended the call today with the lady. I discovered that I was already spending a lot of money on useless, empty capsules that were not changing my health. And when I considered I'm getting a whole meal replacement from this package, I was excited. So you identify with the person on what they're going through, how they're feeling about it. And you say, feel, felt, found. That's kind of the menu. And of course, you season it to taste as you're working with the person. How to overcome the I can't afford it. Now, I had somebody recently that I'm training, that I heard her talk with a lady that she was trying to get interested in their life. And I was listening to her verbiage, her voice, and she was saying, these are expensive. So I didn't say anything then, but when I was on a phone call with just her and I was able to share with her some of it, and she was telling me that people aren't responding to her. And I said, well, you might want to try changing your words and your language. And I said, one of the most important things is because of the way we're programmed, if you say something is expensive, people shut down. So, especially before they understand the value of something. So I was able to share with her, I said, it is unfair for you to tell someone that these are expensive before you share the value with them. And she was like, oh, wow, yes. So I said, you have to include the word quality. These are the quality standards of these formulas are amazing. I've not seen anything like it in the market. And you know what? Even if I am able to just purchase one or two items, it's worth it to me. So you're building that value in that story. And then I also heard her say something else that I had to kind of help her understand to change her verbiage. And it was, she says the word vitamins. She said, and people are interested in vitamins. And I said, well, my recommendation for you is to scrap the word vitamin, never say the word vitamin, never. So I was able to say, replace it with nutritional formulas that make a difference. Nutritional research formulas are research nutrition or whole food nutrition, anything but the word vitamins. And always add the word knowledge or information or research to it. So that person, you're building the value. So to overcome, I can't afford it, you always have to go back to building the value and finding out where that person's value really is. I can't is an open door, not a shut down slam door. I know how you feel. Here we go. I felt the same way till I discovered a price comparison and the value of quality concentrated formulas versus cheap diluted products. In fact, this lady that I was on the phone with today, she said, what about this particular product? My daughter takes it. She's purchased it for me. I take it, and it was actually a product that we use in our PowerPoint presentations where it was fined by the USDA as being fraudulent, and it harmed people. So I was able to use that tool to give that person open up their knowledge base to understand about who you can trust and who you cannot trust. And I heard on the other side, oh my, I'm shocked to discover, yes, that company which you trusted in was actually fined by the USDA because they harmed children. Children, oh my goodness, yes. So I always say, can I send you the information that opened my eyes to the value difference and showed me how you can save money using top quality solutions? So again, you're going right into asking a question. Can I share with you 3 reasons why I stopped saying I can't afford? Now, I put that in here because if we share with people how powerful our words are, and if that comes out of your mouth all the time, then you're calling on yourself what you're projecting. And if you say, I can't afford, I can't afford, I can't afford, I can't afford, then guess what's going to happen is that's going to come to pass because your words have the power of life and death in them. So I would share with that person, let me share with you why I stopped saying I can't afford, because I want to be a blessing to others. And I realized that I was affecting other people in a very negative, oppressive way by saying I can't afford. So I changed that. And this is what I say now. I say, the Lord is helping me to make wise decisions about what I put in my body, and He will make a way for me to get what I need when I need it. See, that's very different than, oh, I can't afford, and then you shut down. And the other pathway is you're opening up the door and you're establishing faith, and you're wanting to spark the faith in the other person too. So overcoming that. Now let's overcoming the famous I just don't have time, waster or increase maker. So in other words, they don't know what they don't know. And so you have been doing this for a period of time. You've experienced the blessing. You've experienced some of the paychecks or some of the time value that comes back to you. That when you share it with somebody else, it changes their life and then it turns around and blesses you. So here is just an example of the verbiage of I know how you feel. I felt the same way. But when I ask myself the question, when was I ever going to have the time freedom I wanted or the income I desired? So here we're putting this together on time. There's a reason why they don't have the time. There's a reason why they're working 3 jobs. There's a reason why they don't have a crack in their schedule. And it's usually because they're overworked and overtired and underpaid and underappreciated. So I just go off with my own personal story. I'm not getting any younger. And unless I change my strategy, nothing will change. Do you have a strategy for more time freedom or extra income? And they're going to look at you like, deer in headlights, because when's the last time somebody's asked them that question? Probably never. And just say, can I send you some testimonies? If I send you some testimonies, would you watch it? Because testimonies will encourage you. They'll give you, let's say, faith. They'll raise your faith. They'll encourage you. And they will actually give you hope for your future. So you're actually helping people to open that door so that they can dream again, so that they can begin to have vision again. Being overworked and underpaid will steal somebody's dreams. Being overworked and underpaid will steal somebody's vision. And the scripture says, without a vision, people perish. Now, I already shared with you one of my examples of the spouse out. So my spouse won't be interested. And so here's just some simple examples of verbiage that I would use using that recipe. I know how you feel. My husband is very skeptical also. So I felt the same way. Oh my goodness, what is my spouse going to think? But I found out that my spouse was also looking for more energy, better health, and we just needed the right information from a trusted resource that would help us make a difference. So they're not going to oppose having better energy or maybe possibly more income. And then the question is, does your spouse like better health or more energy and extra income each month? Now, obviously, they're not going to turn to you and say, no, my spouse doesn't want better health. They're going to respond favorably. And then you turn around and say, if I send you, usually it's a testimony with the spouse out. And we have a few of those testimonies that are on our resource tools that can help them to just see outside of the box and to dream again and have a vision again. The next big objection we hear is, oh, it's one of those pyramid schemes, right? I love this little picture here. Give me all your money, I'm at the top. So give me all your money. Well, obviously, I found that arguing with somebody does not work when they have this objection. I've been in a few of those. And I might come back and say, well, and I always learned, ask a question. So I would ask the question, well, what is a pyramid scheme? What's your definition of a pyramid scheme? And then get them to have a conversation, and then say things like, oh, it sounds like you've had a few experiences like this. Share with me some of your experiences. Let them talk. Let them get a frustration out. Here's some verbiage. I know how you feel. Remember the recipe? Feel, felt, found. I felt the same way, but I found out, oh my, this is really a legit business that thousands are actively using as the vehicle to help them have an above average income. A pyramid scheme is an illegal method of recruiting only people into your company's program as your main source of income. But this company was born in America in 1958. Now, when I shared that with this lady this morning on my call, she was like, what? Say that again. You mean this company's been around since 1958? And I said, yes, ma'am. And it was so funny how I explained it to her. And I said to her, if you've been married to someone for 65 years and they have shown their integrity and their character, and they've been faithful to you for 65 years, are you going to wake up the next morning worried that they're going to have an affair on you? No, you're not. Well, but if somebody, let's say, cheated on you while you were engaged, cheated on you after you were married, yes, you're going to wake up every morning with that tenseness and that anxiety. Oh my goodness, if he did it once, he's going to do it again and again and again. This company was founded in the solid basis of character and integrity, and it's maintained its integrity for 65 years. In 50 countries, sharing top quality pioneer nutritional research solutions for our modern day chronic illnesses. So, can I send you a video testimony that will explain how this business is blessing? I love to use that word blessing because it is a blessing. Blessing families. See, replace that, oh, it's costly, with it's a blessing. Wow, how much would you pay for a blessing? Do you know that I see people? I've been in meetings, I'm gonna tell myself here. I've been in meetings where I've seen people literally let's say, go to the prophet and say, prophesy a blessing over me, and I'll give you $100, offering. Oh my goodness, what people won't do for a blessing. I sat there like, oh my people give thousands of dollars to have a man turn around and bless them. Well, actually, if you share with them that these nutritional formulas and this company and the family culture that they have developed, well, is going to be a blessing to them. Wow. Can I send you a video testimony that will explain how this business is blessing families all over the world? So this ain't just a little minute blessing. This is a worldwide blessing. Wow. So you've turned that, oh, is this a pyramid scheme, into, my goodness, this is so big, this is so huge that it's blessing families internationally. Okay, hold on a moment. Okay, the next one. Okay, so let's go to the next one there. So these are some of the ways that I would recommend how to handle objections. Are there any questions that unmute yourself and ask any questions, come forth, and then we'll go quickly over the coffee shop chat booklet. Anybody have any questions on how to handle objections? All right, then I'm going to go straight into let's go over our coffee shop chat. Thank you so much. Going over to boards. If you haven't downloaded boards, you need to download boards because you can access pretty much everything from the boards app. So what are we going to do when we start a coffee shop chat? You're going to share your 90-second story. Your 90-second story is a powerful puncher, meaning it's going to take the ball out of the park. It needs to be a home runner. You don't need to drag it out. You know how when you're watching the ball game and they drag out an inning for an hour. Oh my goodness, this is a foul ball. This is an out, and that's a foul ball, and it just drags out and drags out. People don't want to hear the dragged out version of your testimony. They want to hear, when you're doing a coffee shop chat, your 90-second testimony. So let me give you an example of my 90-second testimony. 90 seconds is, I was fed up with all the fraudulent activity I had seen in the supplement industry. I had lost 5 family members in 5 years. My family was dying all around me. I was so heartsick, heartbroken. I pulled away from the industry. I even threw away all my supplements. As I threw all my supplements away, I threw my sister, who we just buried, in the trash can. And I said, I'm done until I find the real deal. Well, I discovered that real is rare. And when you find the real deal, oh my, hold on to it. Don't let it go. And so 3 years later, that was in 2010, 3 years later, I had a brother-in-law who was also diagnosed with a terminal situation. I said, Lord, we're on the edge of the cliff. Your timing is perfect. I need a solution. I got a phone call, was shared an amazing story. I knew in my spirit it had to be true. It clicked, click, clicked. I got my brother-in-law on these amazing pioneer researched formulas. It turned his situation around, and he breezed through a season that doctors didn't give him any hope, and the next season and the next season and the next season. And I never looked back. That was 10 years ago, and I look forward to an amazing future sharing these amazing nutritionals that's making a powerful difference worldwide. All right, that's my 90-second story. Yay. So obviously, I didn't start out with that. I started out with a lengthy testimony, but I'm just hitting the powerful points in the story. So as we go on page 1, we're talking about the state of health here in America. It's not very good when the World Health Organization marks us at number 35. How can you throw as much money as we do at health and yet not get the investment and the return of health? Now, I would say that's a bad investment. I read something today from one of my chiropractor doctors that I thought was interesting. And she had posted something saying that medical errors kill 20,000 Medicare patients every single month. Now, how long would you put up with that if that were brought to a reality and there were 20,000 people that got on a plane every month and then didn't get off that plane? Well, how long would you put up with that? Well, you wouldn't put up with that very long. So the definition of insanity is going in circles, doing the same thing, expecting a different results. And here we see the results. is it's not getting any better, it's actually getting worse. So Americans are going to have to take personal responsibility for their health and not just throw money to a broken system. Well, the World Health Organization states it's over 71% of these chronic diseases that we're dying from is preventable. No, 71% is the chronic diseases that we're dying from, but 80% of them is preventable according to the CDC. And obviously, if you believe that your body is the miraculous healer designed to heal itself, all it needs is the right nutrients and enough of the right nutrients to get the job done. There's your key. It needs the right nutrients and it needs enough of the right nutrients. So let's take a look at, well, you can see here that people say, but I eat right. Well, let's examine a study that was done by the USDA, and a study nearly 22,000 people that they studied for 59 nutrient families. How many did they get every single day? Well, they didn't even get the top 10 most important nutrients. None of them, zero. And how bad is zero? Well, how bad is zero? Zero is zero. So 2 independent studies showed an incredible nutrient depletion in our food over the past 50 years because of our farming changes and challenges. A bowl of spinach does not render the same nutrient value that it did with our grandmother's day and our great-grandmother's day and even our Mother's Day. Same thing with, how about the value of apples? It used to be that apple a day would keep the WHO away. Well, the World Health Organization away. And today, you'd have to eat a bushel of apples. And how about oranges? The same thing. 8 oranges. You'd have to eat 8 oranges to get the value of 1. So everybody's running out and supplementing. And what they're supplementing with is really very, very sad, because when you examine the industry, you really come back with, oh my, it's kind of like a shock exposure. And that's where I was. I was shocked to discover that all these supplements that I had given my sister to battle breast cancer was made from rocks and turpentine and synthetic and from China. I was shocked. I was heartsick. I was heartbroken over this, that we were using something that should have made a difference that did not make a difference. So here is some studies that were done just recently about how bad is it. The FDA finds hidden drugs in nearly 50 dietary supplements sold on Amazon and eBay. How bad is that? Oh, that's pretty bad. Why? And I hear people say, but I get my glucosamine, to help my knee from Walmart, and it helps my knee from Walmart. I don't have pain anymore. Well, does it matter to you to know why you're not having pain temporarily? Does it matter to you? Do you want to know that they're spiking it with a drug that is an anesthesia that actually blocks the pain, but you still have the issue in the knee or the elbow or the back or the head or whatever? Oh my, this is called fraudulent activity, but they're getting by with it. Another one is Bloomberg reported that the aloe vera that they actually tested in Walmart, Target, and CVS wasn't aloe vera at all. It was a strange consistency. My. So when I go to the store and I see something on the label, I'm going to expect what I purchased to be that which is on the label, but that's not so in today's supplement world. Here actually is a elderberry. Everybody's going out buying elderberry to try to boost their immune system. And this, I think it was consumerlab.com tested elderberry and found 68% of the powders and everything tested was no elderberry was in it whatsoever. And then the New York State Attorney actually tested all of these herbal supplements on the shelf of GNC, Walmart, Target, Walgreens, Herbals, and found there was 0 That's pretty bad. And 98%, it was grass cuttings on the side of the road. How bad is that? So I'm actually going to go over here and just talk about this multivitamin study because it's real important, because the USDA did this study and showed that they wanted to find out if nutritional supplements made a difference in cancer patients. So they went and purchased 21 of the top brands sold in America, and it had to pass 3 tests. And the 3 tests it had to pass before they gave it to the double-blind placebo study was, number 1, are you who you say you are? Label integrity. Well, there was 11 of them, that's 52%, were fraudulent labels right out of the gate. And then did it pass, did it dissolve, or did it go in one way and come out the same way? Dr. Oz did this study showing all of America. Here's your 1 a day, here's your Centrum, here's your GNC, here's your da 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 da, that they don't even dissolve. Then the 3rd test was levels of heavy metals, and they found one of them had high levels of lead in it. Well, you do know, according to the USDA and the CDC, there are no safe levels of lead. There's no such thing as a safe level for the brain or for the body of lead and mercury. So that left 6 brands that they were going to use in this double-blind placebo study of men who had stage 4 prostate cancer. And the men who took the top 6 best supplements only accelerated their cancer by 32%. Now that's sad. You know, my sister was battling cancer, and I know that I recommended these supplements because I didn't know any better. I was doing the best I knew to do at the time. And yet I know that if someone, now that I know what I know, in my right as I have a conscience that I have to tell someone the truth, that if they're fighting cancer, they're not going to win the battle with Walmart, Walgreens, GNC, and online, and all these vitamins that are resourced out of China and India. They're just not going to win the battle. So you're better off taking nothing. So these are the criteria that if you're going to put another supplement in your body, these are the criteria that you must adhere by. Otherwise, you may be harming yourself and not helping yourself. So, you know, for my friends, my loved ones that are battling, and we're all battling because we live in such a toxic world, isn't made from human, natural, whole food. And when I share that with people, I share with them that rocks are natural. You know, when a label says natural, rocks are natural. Turpentine, petroleum is natural. Pine bark is natural. Pond scum is natural. Oh my goodness. But is it something that God created in the earth to nurture your cells in your body? So that's the question we need to ask. Yes, there's some benefits to pine bark. There's some benefits to, you know, pond scum. There's some benefits, but yet will it in the end do more harm than good? That's the question to ask. So is it produced under pharmaceutical license? This means that whatever we say on the label is fully disclosed, 100% integrity, and they come into our facility there in Silicon Valley, natural formulas manufacturing, and they test unannounced for label integrity. And we would be shut down if there is a discrepancy. We've held on to that license since the oh gracious, I think over 40 years. And we have never had a citation, and we've never had a shutdown. As a matter of fact, when they're tested, they actually test out with more of the nutrient value than what is on the label. Now, yay, finally, a company that has more than what we actually say we deliver. That's amazing. How would you like to purchase something at face value and then turn around once you purchase it, say, hey, guess what? I'm going to be a double blessing to you, and I'm going to give you more than what you ever thought or dreamed of. Number 3, the company has done clinical human trials. I've learned that when companies do trials, many times they're on rats and ferrets and such like. But again, you want to make sure these formulas have been tested out on the human and not on a rat. And these are the only formulas I'm aware of that actually have been tested clinically on humans. And then number 4, published in peer-reviewed medical journals. A lot of people say, oh, medical journals say this and medical journals say that. Well, I was talking with someone on Tuesday, and they said, well, this company says medical journals too. And I was grinning from ear to ear because I said, yes, the medical journals that their studies that they're citing, they're using the Neolife formula studies to sell their product, which is inferior. And I said, and I can prove that to you. She was like, what? Yes. Why? Because we're the only ones that have done these clinical studies on humans. So let's talk about the value of what you get in that Pro Vitality Pack. It's a home run. It's a winner. It's genius what they put together in that Pro Vitality Pack. You always start at the cell level. It's the foundation of your health. You have to address what's happening today with every cell in your body. If you don't repair the damage at the border, you will not have a healthy nation. And so with that repairing of the border, the Tray and End formula, which is a pioneered, one-of-a-kind formula, amazing formula out of 10-year study and more studies that were done from the Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital to the Texas A&M University. These studies were done intensely with scientists that won the Nobel Prize to show the value of these 3 amazing grain oils. This company, Neolife, invested in this. We were birthed out of this pioneered research. And we're still today the only company that has this amazing formula. So they discovered that this is the very secret formula that opens up your cells to receive nutrition, documented clinically, 50% increase utilization of nutrition, 55% increase in the cell's ability to detox. Wow, what an amazing difference. We're talking about adrenal function, hormone function. We're talking about human growth in children. We're talking about brain transmission, nerve transmission, energy at the cell level. If you get a starved and stupid and constipated cell, odds are you're going to have a starved, stupid, constipated person that you're going to be living with or working with at some point. So just pop them some Tray and End and release their cells to receive nutrition. This is an amazing formula. Your health has to start here or it's going nowhere fast. The next is you have to address the level that we oxidize, and that's the pace or the rate in which we age and we rust out. Now, I don't know about you, but we are all aging. So I want to slow down that process. I want to put the brakes on that. And I want to live healthy all the way into my next seasons in life. Well, this is the way to do it. Let's put more powerful antioxidants in the body that are made from human whole food sources. Well, you're looking at the only carotenoid complex in the world that is made from 7 dark colored fruits and vegetables that was clinically tested on humans and shown to be the world's first and only whole human food immune booster. How about 37% increase boost in less than 3 weeks? How about 20% increase in your natural frontline killer cells? How about a 44% decrease in oxidative damage? That's the rate in which you age. And how about a protection of oxidation of cholesterol over your heart and your cardiovascular system of 500%? My question to you is, who doesn't need this? Wow, level of protection. And you cannot, I have never found another formula that can actually prove clinically this level of protection. So it's boosting your immune system, balancing your immune system, slowing down your aging, protecting your body against all this, stuff that's going around and swimming around. And it protects your cells, it protects your brain, protects your eyes, protects your skin. There's actually nothing it does not protect in the body. This is the whole purpose that God created these amazing carotenoid family. You're getting all 15 families and all 600 members in this. Juice extracted, dehydrated, organically grown, non-hybrid, vine ripened, non-GMO, fruits and vegetables produced according to pharmaceutical regulations published in peer-reviewed medical journals. So let's take a look at the next evil twin of our aging and chronic disease, inflammation. Everybody has it. So we've got to find a way to get rid of it. The best way clinically that they have shown clinically on humans to reduce inflammation is through omegas. So omegas have a powerful effect, a positive effect when they're processed right, sourced right, processed right. It's amazing what they can do from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, whether it's your brain, whether it's your colon, whether it's your breast or prostate, whether it's your lungs, with breathing issues or eye issues or skin issues. Oh my goodness, everything is going to benefit with an omega present. So you're looking at the only omega that is complete, all 8 omegas, that is sourced specifically from a silver coho salmon, that is the part of the salmon that you wouldn't mind feeding and blessing your family with, the fillet, that was clinically proven to reduce inflammatory index by 68%. You don't have to worry about the heavy metals of mercury and BPA and PUFAs and all of those chemicals that are in the ocean and water, because we source it from the Northern Atlantic and we test it for over 200 toxins with a 0 tolerance. So it's clinically tests were done at UC Davis and UC Berkeley. Oh my, who wouldn't want to reduce the inflammation, whether it's their knees or their migraines for the head or improving vision or, helping to give your skin back its glow. So, wow, that's what's in that Pro Vitality Pack. The 4th tablet has 21 amazing vitamins and minerals. So let's go on and talk about protein, because let me tell you, nutrition isn't a menu of nutrition until you add the protein. We're in a crisis of protein deficiency. What I mean by that is when you eat, let's say, a steak, only about 25% of that steak is going to be utilized in the body, metabolized as protein. So you'd have to eat quite a few steaks, wouldn't you, in order to get a lot of protein. So, and then you got to digest it. And then it's got to go through all that long process of digestion. But what if I could share with you that there is a protein that can actually be released? It's biologically complete with all 22 amino acids into the bloodstream to go about the business of building a brand new you that you could trust. Well, here's a study that that shows that we cannot trust our protein that's being sold out there on Amazon, on eBay, on the shelf of Walmart, Walgreens, GNC, Target, all these places. Oh my, because there was an organization, it's a non-for-profit organization called the Clean Label Project that shopped 134 of the top brands of protein, and they found 70% had over amounts allowed of lead in them, and 74% had cadmium, and 55% had BPH. What does that mean for you and me? Well, that means cancer, 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 dementia, cancer. Oh my goodness. And cancer's on the rise, no wonder. So it's showing here that even the collagen protein, 100% of the collagen protein had over amounts of mercury in them. Now, how bad is that? So what do you say? Even the company that had two seals on it, an organic seal and a non-GMO seal, tested out the worst for the most toxins. Wow, take a breath, because I'm about to share with you a company you can trust, a protein you can trust, a protein that will deliver nutrition and benefits for your health. 7 criteria for protein, the seal of accountability, and the one that I have grown to love and trust is called the SAB. Protogard process, that means that it's not going to damage your kidneys. That means it's going to actually extend the life of your kidneys. It's got 5 grams of whole food fiber in it. It's got the soluble fiber and insoluble fiber, the whole family working together to actually detox the cells, feed good gut bacteria, and keep your bowel movements moving in the right direction. It's multi-enzyme blend. That means we juice extracted papain from papaya, bromelain from pineapple, and so that has a natural enzyme activity. In fact, when you add liquid to the powder, it's releasing over 2,000 live enzymes. Amazing. So therefore, it is so easy to digest. Again, it will not put a load on your kidneys. Its glycemic response, that means it won't spike your blood sugar. It's biologically complete. Makes sense to me. Nature knows best. 22 amino acids. And it's got a powerful punch of 25 essential vitamins and minerals. You can't go wrong. It's amazing. It is a great way to manage your weight. It's a great way to curb the sugar addictions. It's a great way to satiate the stomach, get the day going in the right direction, satisfying, and keeping those carb cravings down and helping your body to gain more muscle and more real energy. There is nothing artificial, nothing you don't want in it. It will help you with focus, mental focus, because the 22 amino acids do a lot for nerve transmission, mood elevation, weight management. They repair a lot of, if you're working out of the gym, you're going to have these amino acids to restore, repair, rebuild. And this is a fantastic way of doing this. So absolutely, I thank you so much for your time and for me being able to share this information with you. And do we have a testimony of someone that would like to unmute and share a quick testimony while I've got the recording rolling? Is there anybody that would like to give a testimony while I have the recording going?
I would like to, Levon.
Chrissy, go right ahead.
So I have a wonderful testimony. Some of you may not know, and some people here I don't know yet, but I had a real issue with my bladder. And I had edema in my feet, my ankles, my lower legs. and my bladder would not fill and it would not empty. So I was taking probably over 24 bathroom breaks a day, and I would just trickle in the toilet. Anyway, I started on the breakfast solution, and within a week, my bladder completely filled, completely emptied. All the edema left my feet, ankles, lower legs. I had lost about 30 pounds, probably within about 4 or 5 months. And Neolife is just amazing. I am so thankful for it, Levon, and just praise God every day for my health, feeling so good, having energy, vitality. It's just amazing.
And you know what? Chrissy is so authentic. She's tried other things in the past. They did not benefit her health to this degree at all. She's
Right.
so excited that she's using the power of her voice to shout her joy and share with others. And so now she has a blessing, a double blessing of an income that not only pays for the product she's using every month, but it's affording her to actually go on trips and enjoy life and have some freedom. So
That's
what a double blessing. Woohoo!
That's
So
right,
thank
Levon.
thank you so much for joining us. Hang on. I'm going to